What's up guys, and welcome to a new video. So today I'm going to be doing a bike review of a bike I am very familiar with, this bike right here. So let's get into it. Voila, there she is. This is my friend Frank's 2020 Suzuki GSXR750, a bike that you guys are very familiar with on this channel, a bike that I am absolutely in love with after owning my own for going on 8 years now. I've owned mine, and my wife has owned hers for about 6 or 7 years. So this is a 2020 model. This is a little bit newer than mine or my wife's bike, but everything is exactly the same except for the color scheme, which I really like this color scheme. I mean, you guys know that I love blue. I don't know if that's the way this bike came, but it looks stunning. And not to mention the salt decal there. You can't miss that. Appreciate you, Frank. So Frank and I have been friends for quite a while now. We've talked on Instagram quite a bit. I'm borrowing his bike for a little bit of a project I'm doing right now, and he was very nice to allow me to ride his bike to do this project. So I figured, why not do a little bike review while we're out on the bike? So this bike is super clean, and that's why I'm using it for this little bit of a project I got going on right now. Way cleaner than my track bike GSXR750 is right now. And honestly, my bike's taped up, and I just didn't want to pull the tape off of it and do all that stuff. So I asked Frank if I could borrow his bike, and here we are. And we got, looks like 12,000 miles on her. You guys can see right there. So the bike is super clean, super duper clean. So we're gonna take it out for a little test ride right now and tell you my thoughts. You guys can probably already guess what I'm gonna say. All right guys, we are on board the 2020 GSXR 750, which in my humble opinion is probably one of the best sport bikes out there on the market. It's a very nice combination of lightweight, power to weight ratio. The torque is there. It's like a 600 on steroids is the easiest way to explain a GSXR 750. So while we're stuck behind some cars right now, I'm going to take a few minutes to explain why this bike is one of the best bikes out there on the market, in my humble opinion. Like I said, take this for what it's worth. I have ridden probably well over 100 bikes, probably at least 90% of them being sport bikes, everything from Ducati Panigales to S1000 RRs to Honda CBR 1000, CBR 600, R1, R6, GSXR 750s, GSXR 600s, GSXR 1000s. I mean, I could just go on for days. Like, and some of you might be like, a bullshit? A bullshit? I ain't ride all them bikes. Yes. The proof is actually on my channel, so if you want, you can go ahead and give me some more views. Go ahead and click down below, start watching some of my older videos. I have done a lot of test rides on MV Agustas, just ZX10R, ZX6R, just every bike out there imaginable. Not every bike. I won't say that because somebody's going to call me out on a certain bike I haven't ridden. But I've ridden so many bikes, and most of them being sport bikes. I have come to find that the GSXR 750 is probably the most comfortable, the most ergonomic, and just the easiest bike to just tips in so easily. Like I said, just everything about it. I mean, I don't even know where to begin, how to explain how perfect these bikes are. And like I said, this is coming from someone who has ridden probably, I would estimate, over 100 bikes in my 17 years of riding motorcycles, and quite a few of those were you know, cruisers and stuff as well. But I've ridden a lot of sport bikes, and in my opinion, To this day, I own a GSXR750 that is a 2015. It has 33,000 miles on the bike. I've never, knock on wood, I have no wood with me, so knock on wood, I have never had an issue with that bike, and I beat the piss out of that bike. That bike has seen many track days. It has seen many street rides. I mean, 33,000 miles, and the bike it's coming up on, I guess, 8 years old, or 8 years that I've owned the bike. I bought the bike brand new, 33,000 miles. I think I'm actually might be at 34,000. I'm not sure yet. And yes, like I said, absolutely zero issues. And you know, some people are going to say, well, I have a CBR 600 that has 50,000 miles on it that has no issues as well, and that's great. But I've ridden a CBR 600RR, not a fan. Just the seating is like this, you're like looking over the headlight. There's just things about every bike I've ever ridden that make me go right back to this bike. And also, throwing this out there, my wife as well owns a 2017 GSXR750 that she rides at the track. She used to ride it on the street. We only ride the track now. I'm only on the street because I'm doing this test ride. Yeah, she has, I want to say she has either 22 or 23,000 miles on hers, and she doesn't have as many miles as I do because I bought mine a year and a half or so prior to her buying her 750. And let me tell you, she wanted a ZX6R really bad. Like, she wanted a ZX6R really bad, until I put her on my 750 and said, ride this instead, see what you think. I won't force you. I won't force you to love the bike. Just ride it and you'll fall in love with it. So yeah, I mean, like I said, I've had this bike for, not this bike particularly, this is my friend's bike, but I have had my 750 for, I bought it in early 2016, and I've still got it to this day. I'm doing a track day here in a couple weeks actually, and like I said, just, it's been a flawless bike. I have never had an issue with it. I've never had a need for more power or more speed or anything like that. It's just, it's comfortable and ergonomic for street riding, but at the same time, it is aggressive enough to be the perfect track bike, in my opinion. And some people will say like, oh, well, it doesn't have this, or it doesn't have that, it doesn't have ABS, it doesn't have traction control, and all of those things. Let me tell you something. I've been riding bikes since before there were rider aids. And in my opinion, I feel like riding a bike that is like just bare bones, it is a bike, it is a raw bike. It doesn't have rider aids. You don't need to rely on something else to make up for your skills, okay? Ride a bike, learn how to ride a bike without ABS, without traction control. You don't need all of those things. Sure, they might help in certain situations, but in my opinion, I would much rather go to the track and run my fastest lap time ever on a bike that is absolutely raw, just like this, not tuned, no ABS, no traction control, no rider aids, no rider anything, no performance anything, and hit the same PR that I could hit on a bike that's 30 horsepower more, that has ABS, that has traction control, it has launch control, it has everything. Just ride the bike, man. I don't know, it's just, maybe I'm just old school, but I just love knowing that I'm on a raw bike, and any input I do to this bike is because of my error, and it teaches you to be, in my opinion, it teaches you to be a better rider, to not rely on those other things to basically make up for a lack of talent. And I'm not saying I'm a better rider than someone who has ABS, or someone who has traction control, or someone who has wheelie control or launch control, or whatever it is all these new bikes have. I just, if they were to come out with a GSXR 750 right now with traction control, with ABS, with all of these fancy little things, and the price is going to go up $4,000, $5,000, I would buy this bike. I would buy this bike 100 times over before buying those bikes with all of those rider aids, and just relying on the bike to do the work for you. Whatever happened to raw riding, just relying on your own skill? I don't know, maybe I'm just old school. Thanks again, Frank, for letting me ride your beautiful bike and do a little product shoot here. Something in the works. I can't really say, I don't think I can say what exactly is going on with that, but yeah, if you can look at this and tell what this is, good on you. All right guys, peace, ride safe, and we'll see you in the next video.